And joining us now, great to welcome a woman who's written really a fascinating book about something we all heard about, but probably very few of us have ever seen. It's called All the President's Gardens, Madison's Cabbages to Kennedy's Roses, How the White House Grounds Have Grown with America. We're joined today by Marta McDowell, who does a lot of work for the New York Botanical Garden. She's an expert on this field, and she joined us by telephone today. And Marta, good to talk with you. How are you?
Oh, just fine. Glad to be here.
Great to have a chance to talk with you and read through the book. I guess everybody who pays attention to what's going on in Washington, you sort of know about the White House and the Rose Garden and the grounds, but like you said, very few people get to actually see it, so that's kind of an interesting topic. How did you get involved in this?
Well, I was looking for a way to tell the story of the history of gardening in America, which sounded like a really big topic. So this gave me a little frame, right? An 18-acre frame, so maybe not so little, but much smaller than the whole country. And it really does show the fashions over time and how they change in terms of what we plant and how we plant it.
You get some great pictures in the book going back, obviously, to George Washington, paintings and drawings of what the White House eventually looked like. How was it doing the research on that? Was there a lot out there, or did you really have to dig for it?
Well, both. There is a lot out there because the presidents have always gotten media attention, and yet it was sort of sprinkled around a lot of places, including the National Archives, which certainly has the bulk of it. But even there, you had to go on a little bit of a treasure hunt to find things. But the good news is there are a lot of stories, and there are a lot of pictures. And that is the way I like to present material like this, which can otherwise be a little dry, let's face it. But it's fun, and I hope that the readers find it entertaining as well.
Well, what I thought was kind of interesting, one of the interesting things was how the White House and the grounds and all that evolved, obviously how it was put together, and then over the years it's changed a lot, even just going to the garden part of it. I mean, it really has, there's a lot of history just how it was built and how it's changed over the years.
Well, one thing that I found amazing was that for a long time during the 19th century, on the west side of the White House, where the West Wing is today, there was a whole series of glass houses for display and for growing things like orchids, roses. And, it was really like a, self-contained botanic garden at the time, which was the style. And then Teddy Roosevelt comes in, and that's not so much the style, plus he was a little overcrowded in the White House and needed office space. So out go the glass houses, and in comes the predecessor to the West Wing, and he puts in a colonial revival garden, which is replaced, and it just keeps on going. So there are a lot of shifts.
There were sheep at one time, right, to keep the grass down on the grounds.
That's right. That's right. So sheep would give you mowing and fertilizer services all in one.
And it didn't cost the taxpayer much money, if anything.
I guess not. They probably had to pay something to the farmer to bring them over, but not too much. And then they came back during the First World War when Woodrow Wilson was in office because of the manpower shortage, and also, I think, sort of a symbolic gesture as well.
I remember as a kid on TV watching, and you talk about it in the book, President Nixon's daughter got married in the Rose Garden. That was on TV. I know he wasn't the first, but that was kind of my first, I guess, indication of getting to see a little bit of what else is going on at the White House.
And, that was like a royal wedding to us, right? To be able to watch this president's daughter get married and all the flowers and the Marine Band orchestra playing and all the festivities. So it was really fun.
Yeah, President Grover Cleveland, he actually got married himself in the grounds, right?
Yes, so for those of you who like presidential trivia, Grover Cleveland was the only president to be married in the White House, the only standing president, up till now, so up till today. So he's the one and only so far.
And we always hear about the Rose Garden. I guess that's what most people associate with the gardens. I know it's not just that, but was that started by Kennedy's mom, Rose Kennedy? Or named after her?
Oh, that's an interesting idea. There have been roses grown at the White House really since the very beginning. And in fact, President Reagan named the rose America's national floral emblem. But Kennedy really renovated the garden and asked a family friend to redesign it. And so the rose garden that we know today is really due to the efforts of John Kennedy, who was quite involved in the design process and was quite particular about the lawn and the grass in the rose garden, and would, barricade certain paths to keep people off the grass when it was appropriate.
Is there a staff? I guess there is now. Maybe not originally. Maybe there's just one gardener. But I guess there's an official gardener of the White House. Is that how it works?
Oh yes. There is a head gardener, and he has a staff. They're now national park employees because the White House grounds are considered a national park, as is the White House, and they tend to stay for a long time. So since 1800, there have only been 13 head gardeners, which seems like a very small number given that number of years. So they tend to stay for a long time.
And I know there's been different events, Easter egg rolls. I guess that's almost a yearly thing. I know they do with the turkey and Thanksgiving. Don't they do something there with pardoning a turkey in the grounds?
Yes, the presidential pardon of the turkey. Although we all eat plenty of turkey on Thanksgiving, but that it has a long history. And it's a history we can be proud of, right? Regardless of political party or, which way you lean, it can be our common ground.
Yeah, it's nice to know there's something like that we can all enjoy without arguing over, right?
That's right.
Well, again, it's really a fascinating book, not only historically, but just great pictures in there as well of how the White House and the gardens came to be. All the President's Gardens is the name of the book. And Marta McDowell, do you have a website you can direct people to get more information?
Yes, it's www.martamcdowell.com.
Great. Marta, pleasure talking to you. Hopefully we can do it again. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Doug.
I'm Stan Brock. 30 years ago, I formed Remote Area Medical to help people overseas. But then we found generations of families in America isolated by poverty from the health care they need. Together, we can take dental, vision, and medical help to 1 million adults and their kids, right here at home in the United States of America.
If you'd like to order the book we're talking about, please go to DougMilesMedia.com and enter the author's name in the Amazon search box. Thank you for listening. Please come back soon for more conversations here at DougMilesMedia.com. This has been a presentation of Doug Miles Media, all rights reserved. You can listen to or download previous programs at iTunes, Stitcher.com, or DougMilesMedia.com.